think I'm on the spectrum.
What's your real opinion on pop stars like Ed Sheeran or Sam Smith? Manufactured or authentic?
Do you love your sister more than your mum?
Yeah. So you can't love one person?
No. You can, if you learn how, you can see parts of your future that may happen, and you can drive towards them. DJ AG, he just stood in the same place for long enough. You can do it.
Need to talk about your sister,
Yeah.
Natasha Bedingfield.
So that was great. We found Jamaicans to be delightful. Everyone was bugging me, like everywhere I went, constantly all day on the street, and I just did not like that vampire attention. Madonna tried to do it first.
It was 600 grand.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember there was a big deal about the amount you was getting.
Yeah, it was great. I broke my neck
Right.
in New Zealand. I studied for 6 years to learn to read music, and I cannot read music.
Right.
Whatever the dyslexia thing is insane. If your goal is to make music,
Right.
you really want to, and
Right.
you gotta suck that dick. It's worse than everything I've ever been through in my whole life. It's absolutely soul crushing.
So
Like 20 years to recover. Baby, I can't sing. My voice is sore, yeah. Okay. Woo-hoo-hoo. Nope. Whoop. Whoop. Hi, this is Daniel Bedingfield. You're watching the Shizzio Show.
It's the Sexual Show. Finished.
Shizzio bringing it back with the noise. Hoi oi, hoi oi, special MC, I'm back with the joy. Hoi oi, hoi oi, Shizzio bringing it back with the noise. And you bring me love, and you bring me joy. Hoi oi. Yeah, can we do this? No apologies, think I'm gonna be a nuisance. Way back then was a dead up.
Okay, we are back, another episode. You know what? We love this one. I'm telling you right now, like this is a true honor. Every week we have a legends in the building, and it's only right that the legendary status continues. I can't believe I'm about to say this. We have chart topper himself, Mr. Daniel Bedingfield is in the house. How are you, bro?
Very good.
Thank you so much. I know we're mindful of the time, but I know you're so busy. I just want to say thank you so much.
I saw your podcast and I was like, yep.
Yep, I saw you backstage at Garage Nation, and you came up to me and was like, I really like your show, which just threw me about, because like I'm like, that's Daniel Bedingfield. Do you know what I mean? So it's like
To you, that's Daniel Bedingfield. To me, it's just this guy from New Zealand.
Yeah, but thank you so much. I know we don't have a lot of time. I try and compress all this as much as we can. So let's just get it going. So you was born in New Zealand.
Yeah, Kiwi.
See, I didn't know that. I thought British guy. You know what I mean?
Oh, I was 7 generations ago.
Right.
Yeah.
So born and bred in New Zealand.
2 Kiwi parents, grandparents, everything. Great grandparents.
And then when did you come over then to the UK?
My parents saw the Brixton riots,
Right.
and they wanted to help, so they came out here.
Really? So they saw the riots on TV?
Yeah.
So for those that don't know, can you break down the Brixton riots?
Yeah, white policemen were pushed often Jamaican people too far, and were running through a flat, and I think they killed someone's grandma.
Right.
And there was a huge riot. And
Right.
People just said no more.
And your parents saw that and thought they would literally leave their homeland.
Yeah.
Okay, on
They
the
like,
outside.
they like doing things. They like helping people.
Yeah, that's amazing. What other things had they done prior to
That's
that?
what they were looking for. They wanted, what am I going to do with my life that can make a huge difference?
Really?
They were young. They were 20.
Right, and they've seen this on TV.
Yeah.
They don't like it, like so many people.
Yeah.
And they just uprooted the entire family.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was one.
You was one. That's unbelievable.
21, I think, or 22.
Do you have any memories of kind of New Zealand? Or?
Yeah, I do. We went back a lot.
Yeah, but kind of as like a child, you didn't really have much.
Yeah, lots. Yeah, just kept going back every 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
We'd save up for 4 years to get the airfare.
Right. So you uproot, land where? In London?
No, we started in Crawley.
Right.
And then Dad went to Vauxhall, and then on the way to Brixton.
So when you get to Brixton, what happened?
We found Jamaicans to be delightful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just became one with the Jamaican family, and we were all one big family. So they feel Kiwi and we feel Jamaican.
So did they have a plan of what they were going to do?
Yeah, they started, we did homeless stuff, and then they started a bunch of community programs.
That's amazing.
Trying to train people, getting people off the street.
And that's you and your sisters?
That we were all raised that way.
Yeah.
Our whole lives we were doing that with our parents.
So your youngest memory is just helping people.
Yeah, because in New Zealand, people do things as a family.
Right.
We don't do the parents do one thing. Kids, we'd come over to your house. Our kids would all be playing over there. We'd just be talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, having a few drinks while the kids all play together.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, right?
Yeah. In New Zealand, my family is Indian and I guess conquistador.
Right.
Colonizer, whatever.
Right.
And then Maori people. And
Right.
then Samoans.
Right.
And Niueans, little islands. We're all one big family.
Okay.
Our word is whānau, which is like a large extended word for family.
Right.
It's not about blood in New Zealand.
That's a wonderful motto. Wonderful motto. Okay, so you're helping the people in Brixton.
Yeah.
Are you going to school in Brixton?
My mum started a school and a preschool. And no, actually, I went to a school in Lewisham, and then my mum started a school in Peckham.
Okay, and then how is school for you then?
The teachers let me skip ahead.
Why?
Because I couldn't focus on the stuff I was learning. So
Right.
that was really big when teachers let you go behind
Right.
or ahead
Right.
based on your learning. So
Yeah.
I think that's why I would say that school was exceptional. I had a Cambridge honours teacher who was really the most amazing person,
Right.
Francis.
Right.
And that's where I got my love for the English language. And then I got the love of music from this Jamaican church that my uncles run.
Right. So in school, are you like? Is it kind of mainly white? Is it mainly black?
No. It was Mauritian. It was Jamaican.
So how is it from someone from New Zealand being put into that environment?
Island peoples are really easy for me to understand.
Okay.
I would consider the Brits to be island peoples.
Okay.
So if there's a strong community, then I'm fine.
So there's no bullying. You don't feel like an outsider of sorts.
No. I did feel like one of the only white people in my life.
Yeah.
Which was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I like cultures where community is really deep, lifelong friendship, and you make friends fast and you stay friends.
But that's not always a two-way street. Other people might not see that. I don't know.
Everyone loved me.
Was you ever bullied in that area? Nothing like that.
No.
Just a lovely childhood.
Yeah. My parents made sure that the other kids in that school were amazing. The parents are amazing.
Yeah. And then the music comes in from where then? You're going to
Yeah. The Wades, that's 4 brothers. They were a big gospel group in Camberwell.
Right.
And that's where I learnt. My first concert was 12 years old, singing in Sea of Black Faces.
Yeah.
And they were like, who's this kid? And then I opened my mouth and they're like, rah!
Yeah, so where are you learning that? Just in church, like the vocals
Church.
inside of things?
Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
Church is the best or any religious community. It's an amazing way to learn to sing.
That's like harmonies and everything like that.
But everyone in that church could sing.
Yeah.
Well, they
Right.
still can. Sing
Right.
better than everyone you've heard on the charts in the last 20 years.
So there's like a certain level, right? And then you got to stay on that kind
My
of
best
level.
friend Dean, at the time my cousin,
Yeah.
he was playing church at 9.
Right. And then is there kind of any kind of musical influence in the house or?
Yeah, mum and dad were into folk quite a lot. Before country, I hate country music.
Right.
There's a lot of Stevie Wonder and Michael Jackson type of music.
Okay, cool. So you're
gospel. My parents loved gospel.
Yeah. And then are you kind of studying in school as kind of music your main outlet?
We worked 3 hours a week as a family, all the 6 of us, actually 5 of us, to pay for piano lessons and to buy keyboards and.
Is that for the whole family?
Whole family.
Yeah. It's just a very musical family.
Can't stop it. We were singing from the beginning. Anything you hear, Natasha, Nicola, and I, our voices were created together.
Right. And your sisters, are they also singing in choir and stuff like that?
Yeah, all 4 of us kids.
Right.
Yeah. And my mum was singing in church too.
Are kind of you the oldest?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the oldest. All right, cool. So, but then did you want to be a singer, like growing up or?
I knew.
Oh, you knew?
I knew, yeah. 2 years old, started singing all the time.
Right.
Night and day.
Yeah.
And then at 9, I knew exactly what I was going to do.
So it's kind of studying out of the way now. You're not really studying, or you're just focusing on music, or are you balancing them both?
I'm doing both. Yeah, and then I had to go to homeschool because I kept skipping ahead.
Right.
The English system didn't want me to do that.
When you mean skipping ahead, as in you're too advanced?
Yeah, I kept jumping years.
Okay. So then are you kind of studying to get that advanced?
Homeschool kids usually do skip ahead.
Right.
When a kid is allowed to learn at their own pace, and if you keep at the pace of the teachers, it often slows down quite a lot.
But if you're being homeschooled, then I presume it's your parents that are teaching you this kind of stuff.
I taught myself. They taught me how to teach myself.
Really?
They had a school, and then I was when I went to secondary school, I couldn't find a school that would let me skip ahead.
Okay.
I found one school in Deptford that let me take maths 4 years early, GCSE.
Right.
And then, but after that, I couldn't find A levels that would let me do that.
So you took GCSE maths 4 years.
I think so. 4 years.
You passed it, yeah?
Yeah, or maybe one. I can't
Okay.
remember. But I was 4 years ahead, so maybe I laxed
Okay.
off. But then I did go to Lewisham College
Okay.
to take my A levels.
Would you say homeschool's better than public school?
You don't get to figure out how to be part of a country when you're homeschooled.
Right.
Really.
And then I guess
But
there's that
I
kind of.
stayed global.
I guess there's that social aspect as well. That's kind of lacking.
If you pick your own friends, you're okay.
Right.
Depends which country you're in. It's quite hard to make friends in this country without being in a school.
Yeah.
And I never really became English.
Do you feel English?
No.
You've never felt
I
English.
feel very London.
But London is English now. Or do you-
Yeah, but London culture is 90-something cultures.
Right. Yeah, but some would say it's a melting pot, which then there's something English about it, I guess.
I love English people. I just don't. I'm too frank.
What does that mean? You're too frank.
Too honest and brutally honest. I'm
Yeah, but
like the
that's-
Germans.
Yeah, but you could be honest. If you've got to be honest, you've got to
It's
be honest.
probably the spectrum thing.
Yeah.
It's probably more than culture, actually.
What do you mean the spectrum thing?
I think I'm on the spectrum.
Okay, what do you mean you think you're on the spectrum?
Process things in ways that remind me of autistic people.
Okay, have you ever seek to have that looked at?
Yeah. Look, I took the test 3 times. It says no, I'm not. But
Okay.
I see other autistic people, and I know that I am. There's a little computer in my head. So when I first had the success, I was very confused by how to behave.
Right, how to kind of handle it.
I tried to behave like I saw other pop stars behave.
Right.
I think I kind of pulled it off, but there was something weird about me from the beginning.
Right. What is it that you think that's weird about you?
Can't understand what people are thinking in some cultures.
Right.
I understand what Jamaicans are thinking, Israelis. I understand what Africans often are thinking, or
Right.
Japanese people.
Right.
But in a really complex, multi-layered culture like English culture, I often feel like everyone's in on what's going on except me.
Okay, so then are you finding it trouble to kind of have friends and keep friends?
No, I have a lot.
Because some would say the social aspect is what kind of
At the time.
autistic people find difficult.
Yeah, I didn't have any friends till I was 16, and then didn't have any good friends until I was 18.
Right.
Except for the kids I grew up with in New Zealand.
Okay. And then when you're going back home, is it kind of hard to keep that? Because obviously that's the other side of the
It's
world.
kind of okay. I think something got lodged in my brain that you don't see people for ages and it's okay. But we were traveling as a family about 3 months a year, raising the money. We would visit people who were giving us money to do what we were doing for 3 months a year. And my parents would do seminars, and then we would come back, and that was that, because that was the money that they lived on.
So they do these seminars and that's what they live on. And then you just kind of travel around.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
it's really cool.
It is cool.
Social worker parents.
Okay, so you're making music at home then, I guess. Is that just kind of self-taught or?
I got this one guy, Ed, gave me piano lessons.
Right.
And then Uncle Lloyd gave me, from the Wades, he gave me like 3 lessons.
Right.
But the more I studied a lot. The more I studied, this is interesting for me. The more I studied music theory, the worse my music got, the less creative it got. So I stopped.
Is this like kind of note reading and kind of the theory
I
side?
studied for 6 years to learn to read music, and I cannot read music.
Right.
Whatever the dyslexia thing is insane.
Right.
But I can remember it. I would learn it once and then do it from memory.
Right.
So I got very good at remembering things.
And then you could just naturally learn to play that way.
And then I lost my photographic memory in the car crash.
Right, we're going to get to the car crash. That was after your hits came out, right?
Yeah.
Right, so we will get there. Okay. Okay, cool. So you're at home, you're making music.
It's not really photographic, by the way. It felt very photographic.
What do you mean? You could just recollect things?
I could
Well, if
remember
you're passing maths like 4 years early, there must be something in your head that is like, yeah.
Proper, when you actually meet someone with proper photographic memory, I didn't have that.
Yeah. Well, then maybe you had partial or something.
Something good.
Exactly.
Felt really good.
You take it. You take it, right? Okay, cool. So very musical family, and then you're just making music at home?
Yep, and so I'm doing concerts in my uncle's night spot.
Right.
Jamaicans will put 20 artists on the bill,
Right.
rent out the town hall, and then get...
What town was this?
Camberwell.
Right.
Yeah, and then there would be... All of us would sing 1 or 2 songs.
Right. Just kind of regular.
Really
gigs.
cool.
Yeah. Just everyone
Best
together.
reggae and gospel.
Yeah.
And bashment.
FYI, what's your 3 favourite songs of all time? If someone had to say.
Okay, it's embarrassing.
No?
It is.
Oh, it is.
Disclaimer. Lionel Richie, Hello, just because of the melodies.
Do you know what? I know. I saw a video about it yesterday, about the actual music video. And someone on TikTok was saying, isn't the video weird? Because he's stalking a blind girl. But at the time...
By the way, I've spent a week with him.
Oh, wow.
Absolute gentleman.
No way.
No words. No words for the kindness, the depth, the honesty.
You spent a week with Lionel Richie.
Grounded. He was in my studio. We recorded a song together.
That must be mind-blowing.
Called Do Ya.
Really?
Yeah.
How was that to process?
Fuck, it's so sweet. Can I swear on this?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. It's what I've noticed is that there are certain levels of talent where people stop being assholes.
Right.
And they just care about the music so much, and they care about the connection so much that they can't be bothered with assholeness.
Yeah.
He's got no ego about himself at all.
Okay, so we've got
And
Lionel.
Natasha's really good friends with Nicole.
Yeah.
Yeah. Called him up the other day just to see if we could hang out, and he's like, "I miss you. Let's hang out." So I keep forgetting. When I go to LA, I need to see him.
Bonafide pop star Lionel Richie on the speed dial. Okay, so Lionel Richie, Hello. 2 more songs.
Teen Spirit.
Okay, Nirvana. Yeah, I get that.
The last one is just too many. It's very hard to pick.
What is it a toss up between?
Who am I listening? I'm listening to Moi now by Zinc and Brazy.
Okay.
I'm that bitch.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, cool. So let's talk about this break then. How does it happen? Because you're making music at home, right? And then do you produce I Gotta Get Thru This?
So I'm 18.
Right.
I move out. I get a job. It's an incredible moment because
Where's the
it's
job?
the beginning of the .com bubble.
Right.
So if you can imagine making £18 an hour for your first job.
Right.
Working at not teletext, the other one.
Okay, I remember teletext.
Something like that.
Right.
Designing. I learnt all the software in the 30-day free software.
Right.
And put that on my CV that I could use it.
Right.
And sometimes I'd put that I could use it like Dreamweaver before I learnt it. And
right.
then I'd learn it in the 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm lying.
I can do it.
I'm lying.
Yeah,
but then my uncle told me, you're not lying.
Yeah,
because you will do better. You will outperform them once you're there.
It's so true.
And I did.
But
I wasn't good enough. I wasn't good enough as a designer. It wasn't excellent designer.
Right. But you're working.
Yeah. And then I got to £26 an hour.
Well, so a lot in them days, mate.
Get my own flat. I mean, it was.
Do you know what I mean? Right.
It was. So I get my own flat. I get a PC.
Yep.
I get a mic and Joe Meek preamp.
Yep.
And can't remember what mic I got. And then I got the world's first sequencing software.
Right.
For PC.
Called?
Making Waves. I think there were only 300 users at the time. I got the demo.
Right.
And I Gotta Get Thru This on the first ever sequencer for the PC.
So, hold on. So you're telling yourself, I'm going to make my own music.
I'm going to watch Craig David on telly and I'm going to do that. I listen to all the garage stuff. So me and Izzy B, we start making tracks and then we, I can't remember how we made that. Yeah, I'll say Making Waves. Izzy took the vinyls, 500 at a time, on his back all over London, and we got it to Black Market Records. And Black Market.
But hold on, let me just stop you there. What kind of garage tunes are you feeling?
So it's just moving into 2 steps. So like, Are You Sleeping? Are You Sleeping?
Yeah. That's what Craig David's doing now again.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he just did it.
Yeah.
Good man.
Right.
And so two steps really happening.
Yep.
Never let him go.
Yep. Tina Moore. Yeah.
Yeah. And when drum and bass died,
Yeah.
to me, everyone's going to be angry with me for
No,
saying that, but to
it
me
did
died.
kind of, garage
It stopped feeling good.
did take over.
And then I was grieving for a couple of years. What is this garage? I'm trying to dance to it.
Right.
Slow. And then there's the bogle. We were
Yeah. Come
I
on.
tried to figure out where to dance. When I started actually getting it, then we made a couple of garage tracks. We took them around. Izzy told me that this amazing thing would happen. That the best DJs in London would listen to your CD and give you tips. And if you got it right, they would play it.
Right.
Can you imagine that? You
Yeah.
can't, nothing like that today.
Right.
It would blow up on TikTok.
Yeah.
75% of music discovery is on TikTok now.
Yeah. So you make the track. Is it kind of easy? How long does the process to kind of make that song?
It's delightful. Gotta Get Through This appeared in my head as a song while I was roller skating to work on a bridge, Tower Bridge, to work at 18 years old.
And it just came to you, as in the lyrics or the beat?
The whole thing.
What, the doom?
I didn't
doom,
write it, yeah.
Doom, all of that?
Didn't write it.
You didn't write it? You literally skating and the song just pops in your head?
Okay, get through this.
Right.
Dun,
And are you saying
dun.
and the lyrics, I've got to get through this, is that just applied to like life and work?
No,
or
it was
just...
my best friend. I've been best friends with Gina for 2 years.
Right.
She was lovely and I didn't want to ruin the friendship.
Right.
But one day the pressure to tell her was so bad I felt sick in bed. And that's when the song came. And the song is about how can I get through not telling her or telling her. How can I get through that moment and just power through.
Right.
And I'm moving forward with the roller skates.
Right.
Inlines at the time, aggressive inlines.
Inlines, Bauer.
I'm always doing the gayest things.
Bauer.
Yeah.
Right.
Always doing the gayest things.
Okay, so you make the song. When you make it, do you feel it's like special to you, or do you think it's just in line with the other kind of demo or songs you've made?
I thought it was good.
And this is all in your bedroom?
Yeah.
You mix it yourself?
Well, then I take it to Arthur at Artwork, at D&D, and he puts a better. You can hear you can actually hear the original.
Right.
He put a better snare on it, better hi-hat.
Right.
He put some keys on it, he put the pits on it, and then he said, you need a middle eight. And I was like, nah, it's fine how it is. And he's like, no, you need a middle eight. So I wrote, when your love is pouring.
Okay. He
was right.
Okay, fair enough.
And then they put it out.
You take that CD where? You just hand it out then?
No. So way before this, before Arthur did that, I gave the CD to Black Market, and that's where EZ was.
Right.
And EZ found it and put it on Pure Garage.
The CD,
2.
The actual compilation.
Yeah, Pure Garage 2.
Right. Yeah, because the EZ CDs were big, right?
Yeah.
And so
he's still the man.
Oh, still
Beyond.
The EZ is like beyond.
And my new favourite DJ is Cartier.
Okay.
Best garage set I've ever heard in my life.
He was amazing.
We were at the O2. We sold out the O2.
That was unbelievable. We have to talk about that, and we will talk about that. Water.
The most annoying, weird thing was having my name at the top with everyone who'd invented garage underneath.
Right.
That wasn't. I would have put them Wookie. I would have put Wookie at the top.
Yeah, but you have achieved, when you think on a mainstream level, you, Craig David, I think you would say if you had to put the figures out.
Yeah, so my friend Dan Bigfoot from Shanks and Bigfoot.
Yeah.
And then Sweet Female Attitude and Craig and I, those are the only 4 garage songs that have made it out of the UK.
So I suppose...
And then now, Pink Panthers.
Yes.
Thank God.
But if you think about it, like...
And Sammy Virgie's nailing it everywhere. And my favourite is Oppie Dan.
Okay.
So yeah, it's not true anymore, but it was at the time.
Yeah, but I'm saying you've earned to have your name up there.
Thank you. Not at the top.
That's fair enough. That's very humble of you. But when you see what you have achieved, you've achieved amazing.
Not quite humble. It's more. I just want some more accuracy.
Okay. Well, fair enough. I haven't got the time to get into it.
I'd like to be humble.
Okay.
That'd
cool.
be nice.
Right. So then EZ calls you and says, right, I'm gonna put this out, or does he just put it out?
Call me. Oh. Yeah, Black Market called me
and said it's going to be on a compilation.
Going to be on a compilation.
And you're like
I never got to talk to EZ until after it came out.
Right, so you're like sweet. Like, are you happy? You just think whatever, or?
So I really just want to be honest. I've been dreaming of it, but as if I was seeing it.
Right.
You know, manifestation.
Yes,
type thing.
manifestation.
I didn't know that word at the time.
Yeah, you visualizing
just
it.
Visualize it so clear.
So you could see that happening.
When I was 16, Izzy B and I were taking a pee at a festival.
Right.
And we both saw at the same time. We saw us performing at the Rose Bowl.
Right.
In front of a full audience. We saw all the colours. And I thought he was playing a keyboard. He was playing the decks.
Right.
And then years later, when we played the Rose Bowl together, we're like looking around like, no.
We did this.
No, this is the thing we saw.
Yeah.
So it's not quite visualization. Every human being has the capacity to tune into some form of either divine or
Right.
hive mind, like bees,
Right.
or
Like a vibration.
God, or
Right.
every human can learn to see the future.
Mm-hmm.
And to know deeper things. That there's a spiritual realm that may not exist,
Right.
but at least something happens.
Yeah.
It's probably science, to be honest. All of it. It's all probably science. It's all probably spirit. Who cares? But you can, if you learn how, you can see parts of your future that may happen, and you can drive towards them.
So it comes out on this compilation.
Yeah.
And does it just explode overnight? What is it for you? Is it literally an overnight thing?
So I'm in Streatham,
Right.
where I made the track.
Yep.
And the being, or the hive mind, or God, or whatever,
Yeah.
says, "Are you ready?"
Okay.
Because this feeling, or God, or whatever, has been talking to me my whole life. Not like a schizophrenic voice.
Right.
It could be my internal self,
Right.
future self. No idea.
Right.
I think it's healthier for me not to know who I'm talking to, or
Right.
what voice is
But
talking.
you know it's there and it's
Because
a
you
feeling.
could go mad, or you could go religious, and
Sure.
I don't want to ever be religious.
Sure, I hear that.
So I recognize devoutness
Right.
as something very devoted energy.
Sure.
I just really don't like dogma.
Right. But you get this feeling.
The voice says, "Are you ready?" And I say, "You're God. You tell me if I'm ready." And it says, "Be 2 weeks," or something like that. Right now, like something
ready.
like 2 weeks, 3 months.
Right.
And then later, that same voice says, "Are you ready?" And it happens in America. And this time I say, "Yes."
Right. So let's focus on the one here. The song just blows up. Yeah. It spins everywhere. Like.
Nuts. And so I'm wearing this super gay clothing. I didn't even know it was gay. My best friend Eska's like, "Do you
Right.
know how you're dressing?"
Right.
Like Cyberdog,
Right.
big flowy pants, big massive Ray-Bans, like
Right.
goggles.
Okay.
Like, do you realize that everything you're wearing, and you're roller skating, and you're
Yeah.
show tunes?
Right.
Like, do you know how people might think that you're trying to actually portray yourself as gay? And I'm like, how does sexuality have anything to do with clothing?
Yeah.
Still, even now, I don't even understand. For me, I think Western cultures like to wear tan and black and white.
Right.
And every other culture I know around the world is wearing colours.
Right.
Most
Yeah.
places. And I love colours.
Yeah.
Might be the global thing, maybe the spectrum thing,
Right.
or it could be gay.
You like what you like. Do you know
I
what
don't
I
know
mean?
how gay I am. I'd have to fancy men more to be really gay. I think.
Right.
But I'm open. I'm an open-hearted person.
Right. Okay. The song literally blows up. Are you being now?
They put me in these. They say I'm not cool enough, and they're horrified by.
Who's they?
Relentless.
Right. So a record label gets in
They're
touch.
gonna film me. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
So I sign it to a label, and then they sign it to Relentless.
I remember at the time there was a lot of talk about 400 grand. 400
It
grand.
was 6.
It was 600 grand.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember there was a big deal about the amount you was getting.
Yeah, it was great.
It was like papers everywhere.
It was great.
Yeah. I just remember that being a thing. Like Daniel's being signed for this amount.
Yeah. So Relentless signed me for nothing, and then they sold it to Polydor for 6.
So then, do you get to see any of that money?
I did.
Right.
That
What?
600,000 that ended up in my hand, which was crazy because I got a lovely flat.
Is that
in one
is that an album deal? Is that what
that
is
was
that?
an album deal. That was a 5-album deal that led to me not releasing anything for 8 years of my 20s.
Right. Okay. Hold on.
I wasn't allowed to release anything.
Right. Hold
for
on.
8 years
But
of
you
my
get
20s.
you get offered the deal 600 grand.
Yeah.
And-
Well, it was a bidding war, which is Madonna tried to do it first.
What as
She
in
tried
what?
to sign me to her label.
Madonna tried to hand you, and did you not want to entertain that?
Yeah, I was liking that, but then there's a bidding war, and
Right.
people just kept.
The highest bidder.
It was great. I got the killer lawyer,
Yeah.
and he looked after me, Russell Roberts.
And do you have to recoup that money, or is it just a case of that's your signing?
I'm
fee?
$800,000 pounds unrecouped. I've never seen a single penny since the day we signed the second album.
Okay.
They gave me another advance for the second album, but they never. I've never recouped.
Okay, you get 600 grand. What do you do with that money? It's life-changing money at the time.
Oh, it's amazing.
Do you go mad with
Bought
it?
a house. Bought next to Maggie Thatcher's house in Dulwich.
You bought a house next to Margaret Thatcher?
Where she used to live, yeah.
Okay.
In Dulwich, yeah.
Well, outright?
So I had a gate.
Right.
And everyone was bugging me, like everywhere I went, constantly all day on the street, and I just did not like that.
But you didn't like the attention?
Oh my gosh. It's not real attention.
Right.
It's not kind attention.
What is it?
Vampire attention.
Right.
Give me the feeling that I want now, because you make the music. They completely don't see me.
Right.
You can ask, Robbie's been talking about that, Robbie Williams, and then who else has come recently? Chapel Roan.
Yeah.
Who else is it? Katy Perry.
And
finally, people are really starting to talk about it. It's really harassment.
And I guess there's no manual for this. There's no manual on how to...
People come up and say, hi, I love your music, this energy, bless you, thank you so much, that's great. But when it's this,
Yeah.
and it was everywhere.
And it was tough to deal with?
It was overwhelming. It's worse than everything I've ever been through in my whole life. It's absolutely soul-crushing.
So,
Like 20 years to recover.
So how do you process that? Or is it something you just can't process?
I won't.
Do you then become an introvert then? How does that...
I live in another country.
As in you left the country?
Absolutely.
After that?
Absolutely.
You was like, I just can't handle this?
Nope.
No,
there's two things. One, there's the energy, which is kind of taking.
Yes.
Objectifying.
Right.
So I see you as a music that I like.
Right.
Which is not, I see you as Daniel. It's not, who are you, young man?
Yeah.
It's give me.
Yep.
Make me feel good, because that's your job.
Right.
You signed up for this.
Yes.
And don't moan about it, because you chose to be a pop star, so you deserve this.
Right. In that respect, you did sign up for it. So
I did.
But do you feel that's a fair trade-off, or do you feel like that's not a fair
Great.
trade-off?
I love that I did it. I just don't want to live here.
Yeah. But then some would say, for you to make that 600 grand, you want the press, you want that attention when it suits you, perhaps. I'm just trying to find the balance.
You're right. So the two things here are the vampire energy. The second thing is, if you're given cake, the best cake of your life, every day, 100 times a day, you will hate cake.
Yeah.
If you're in Abu Ghraib and you're being played Britney Spears, Toxic, great song. Again and again and again, it ends up actually breaking you.
Yes.
So for an autistic young man, having the same words, how's your sister, having the same words, gotta get through this, shouted out loudly again and again, all day. Daniel, even that, just triggery. Like, I've heard that so many times. That sound is, I know who you are.
Right.
And you don't know who I am. I'd like you to find out who I am with a proper protocol. In any culture in the world, they would say, they would try to meet you. But because of the media the media world we created as musicians, I'm responsible too.
Yeah.
That pipe thing that we did, it locked me out of relationship with new people in the country. And so I just got overstimulated. I don't know if you know much about overstimulation, but it's like, you think that autistic people have an anger problem, and they do. But really what's happening is just too much stimulus, and then they explode.
You're a #1 artist, right?
Yeah, I think I've got 4.
Yeah, so we're going to get right. So, but what's interesting is you come out as a garage artist, I presume, but then you have like slow jams, like If You're Not the One, which is...
that was really weird.
But it's like an amazing love song, right? Which I suppose I'm not expected to hear that from...
No,
do you get what I mean?
No, so people have a sound.
Right.
Everyone has a sound.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah.
And everyone advised me to have a sound.
Right.
I don't have a sound. I don't want a sound.
Yeah, because I would have thought the label would be like, you're a garage guy, make more of that.
Yeah.
But
Garage Light. So a nameless band group of people decided that they wanted to separate themselves from the rest of old garage, and they were the new school, and the stuff that went on in their shows meant that overnight all the clubs shut their doors to garage in the same week.
Right.
And it was over.
Is this the Soul Solid era?
I'm not talking about any names.
Okay.
And that was it.
Right.
Finished.
And it had a knock-on effect, I suppose.
So when I came to my third single, garage was gone. I couldn't. They wouldn't let me release garage. Wouldn't let me make it.
And then you make If You're Not the One.
No, I made If You're Not the One at the same time as...
But that's what I mean. Yeah. So when you were making
after that... Oh yeah, so if You're Not the One's a tough one. It's really cheesy to me.
But
I like it, but it's cheesy.
So do you not like singing it?
Again, singing Toxic every day,
Okay, but
even Cake every day.
sure.
Doesn't matter how nice the song is.
Can you appreciate how that song's probably brought happiness to so many people in this world?
so
It's
many.
probably been wedding songs. People have probably, do you get what I mean?
It
Like,
really is.
right. Like,
It's my diary.
it's probably been the first dance song. It's probably been, people have made baby, do you get what I'm saying? People have got together, broken up.
It's a great honour
Yeah.
to be for anyone to let you touch their heart
Yeah,
and to want to come to hear me sing
yeah,
and to sing with me. So I think maybe not everyone realises that when I'm singing there, I'm having thousands of people singing to me,
Yeah.
and they're singing my story and my heart,
yeah,
and so I'm getting a concert.
right, yeah.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
It's actually one of my favourite things in the world.
Where did that song come from though? Because
It's love.
it's very vulnerable, it's very open, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. When I realised that there wouldn't be a one for me,
When did you realise
as
that?
I'm realising that I was born to love 2 or 3 people
Right,
because I found the right person for me. Everything I'd looked for,
right.
and it wasn't going to work.
Why not?
I need to love 3 or 2. My heart is
Right,
different.
right. So you can't love one person.
No,
Okay,
no.
right. And when?
I still love everyone I've ever been in love with.
Yeah, I hear that.
So my heart is full of people that I've been in love with.
Right.
And then a new one comes in, and it's like, which sister do you prefer? No. Do you love your sister more than your mum? Stop it, just stop it. Grandma, stop while you're talking to work. So I can't. Which girl do you love more?
Okay. So you can't do that.
No, it doesn't. It's completely someone else's idea. It doesn't fit at
Okay.
all.
And then speaking of the female attention, how is that when you're a bona fide pop star?
It doesn't translate to romance or sex.
What does it translate to?
They are approaching me in my official capacity as a musician.
Right.
It's not.
It's
When-
not real? There's no
They're not-
depth to it? Is that what
No,
you're saying?
No, they're attracted to something that
That
I
guy.
do,
Yeah.
and that you see it on their face. It's not hot. If a girl loves my voice, that's nice.
Yeah.
But if there's any difference if they're putting me even slightly above them, I'm out, man. I'm a New Zealander. We're all
I'm a New Zealander now.
we're level. We're level people. Our marriages are based in equality.
Right.
When someone feeds me or gives me coffee, I'm talking to them.
Right.
Maybe even be their friend.
Right.
There's no barrier. There's no hierarchy.
Okay.
We don't have class in the same way in New Zealand.
Okay, so you're a bona fide pop star. It's all too much, but are there any highlights? Because it seems like it's a bit of a sad, not sad, but you have, I don't know.
The
what
concerts are
hi-
amazing.
The concerts, obviously you do.
The touring is amazing. You wake up in a new country.
You see
in your
there's some
bus.
people that don't like the touring because they don't get to see the countries.
I get to see
Okay.
them.
Okay.
I stop off for a few days. I'm doing 3 days at a time, and they get 2 days off
Right.
sometimes. I know you can't make money that way, so I didn't make any. I made no money from touring
Okay, why?
because I spent it all on the gig and enjoying my life.
What do you mean on the gig? As in,
I had a romantic idea in my heart that it's like a pastor doing or a priest doing it for money. It's kind of wrong. So
Right.
my idea is that I'd take money from recording, but all my concerts I'd be doing it for free,
okay,
and I did.
that's
Didn't
interesting.
make any money at all.
So what did you do with the money?
I paid better musicians,
Right.
better sound men,
So you kind of really invested it into
Yeah.
your stage show.
for my own joy,
Right.
so I could enjoy the concert.
But some would say that is money well spent, right?
It was.
That's what, yeah, do you know what I
So
mean?
that's, are you asking for positives? That
Right.
was pretty amazing.
But are you kind of invested? Like you've still got your house. You're still living
I'm
good,
doing
right?
okay.
You're not on the streets, are you?
No,
Right.
I'm doing okay. I can pay for my mortgage.
Right.
But I really enjoy not having loads of money.
Are you a materialistic kind of guy? Because you don't come across like that. I just thought I'd just put that out there. There's not a car you want or any kind of things. You're not into that.
Before Tesla was too Nazi for me, I was pretty happy having one.
Right.
Now I don't know what to do because it drives me. It keeps me safe. But
Yeah.
I feel like I'm letting down
Yeah.
my family.
But you don't have like a super high standard of living, do you?
Again, I'm a Kiwi.
Yeah. But
I just want the water
Yeah.
and the sun.
Yeah.
I'm living in San Francisco.
Yeah. Let's talk about, let's just go in order, right? That album drops and then you got a pressure to drop a second one, right?
Yeah, so I break my neck
Right.
in New Zealand.
Right, let's
I'm
talk-
at a Maori gathering where all the tribes get together to compete in dance and in sports.
Right.
And I'm driving away from it, and my Jeep slips on the road.
Yeah.
And I break my neck in 10 places.
Yeah, so you have a major car crash, right?
Yeah.
Are you driving the car?
I'm driving the car.
Right.
I'm not drinking. There's no music. I'm not talking. I'm not distracted. Just eight other cars came off the road at that same spot that year. Like, it was really dangerous.
Right.
Gravel road.
Right. You break your neck.
Yeah.
Um,
And then I had to release my second album. But
Right.
what had happened is that Coldplay had taken over. Britpop was all bands.
yeah.
Garage was killed on
Yeah.
purpose.
Yeah.
Drum and bass hadn't recovered. Grime wasn't really invented yet.
Yeah.
I think Wiley was really key for that.
Yeah.
And dubstep was miles off.
Yeah.
Drill wasn't even a thought.
So just to talk about the
So
actual
I had to learn how to play all the instruments. I had to learn how to produce all my own shit
right.
in an organic way.
But just the recovery aspect itself.
Oh.
How long was the recovery? I mean, you broke on your neck. I'm guessing it's kind of traumatic for you, right?
Yeah.
Because you could have died, right?
Yeah. That idiot Avid Merrion told everyone I was dead. Arsehole.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't
If
know
I
that.
have an enemy in my life, it's him.
It's him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then hearing what Craig suffered too.
Yeah. He did do a lot.
That's an enemy. That's a bad English person.
Yeah. So I didn't know that. So he then what did he do? Put it on his show that you died?
Yeah, something like that. And then the press took it, and then all my friends thought I was dead.
Wow.
I was in hospital, supposed to be in hospital for 12 days, and I needed to get out. So I got off drugs and tried and convinced them to let me out after 9.
This is with a broken neck. You leave the hospital after 9 days.
I was, when you're that close to death and everything else, you have to have this vicious mindset of, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be great.
Right. Right. And are there any long-term effects, or is that just... Okay, don't do that. Man, he's clicking his neck. I'm like, yo, don't fall off, bro. I don't need...
I don't know. I won't know until I'm like 60.
Okay. So you're out of hospital in 9 days. Okay.
Determined.
To just get it better.
That's the problem with resilience, is that you can survive anything. So you often push yourself really hard.
Right.
But that's how I got through stuff back then.
Okay, and then you got a pressure to drop an album.
Yeah. So
Is that the label onto
it's not
you?
pressure at all.
No.
It was a delight to have a second album.
Right.
But I had to produce it organically.
Right.
And I'm a garage artist.
Right.
Drum and bass and garage.
So was that a struggle for you then? So you had to find a new sound? Okay. And did you produce it your kind of self, or at this point did you not want to just go and like get other, I don't know, producers? No, I don't know. I'm just asking, man.
Just because everyone does that nowadays.
Yeah.
That's not how anyone did it. In
Yeah.
my day.
Actually let me just say. So your first album is produced by you.
Yeah.
Written by you.
Yeah.
Made by you.
It's honestly, it's a cred thing.
That's unbelievable.
That was everyone.
That wasn't everyone.
Yes.
People don't do that.
No, everyone at the time.
Right.
Everyone at the time. If you're an artist, you made it yourself.
Yeah.
There weren't. This is before, like, Westlife had just happened.
Yeah.
It was before.
Okay.
This is. I would audition for the first Pop Idol.
Yeah.
Simon Fuller.
You
And
did.
Yeah, and very kind. He said, you should not be doing this.
Right.
You clearly have your shit together, and
Yeah.
we will tell you what to do.
Wow.
Please don't. For your own sake, please don't.
Okay, so you're in New Zealand, the second album, so then you're kind of struggling to put it together?
I liked it.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
not garage.
Does it do as well as you expect?
No, yeah, I don't know. No.
I mean, kind of on paper, I guess it's not the same as the first
I've
album.
just been waiting 20 years for garage and drum and bass to come back, mate.
It's kind of coming,
and
you know.
Afro bass is back.
It's-
Yeah, and Afro beats and Amapiano.
Yeah.
Music's getting. To me, music's getting very good.
It's
again.
a beautiful time.
Jason Status just toured all of
Yes.
America, and so did Sammy Virgie.
Yes.
I'm waiting for Oppie Dan to become like world's greatest.
Yeah.
She's amazing. And then Flavor D.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, there's some
No, it's
really,
true.
really good shit.
But just in that period, is it hard for you to take that the album's not perhaps doing what it's meant to do?
Not at all.
You're on a pedestal.
No,
The world's
so I'm
expecting.
talking again to this God character, and
Right.
I'm like, you need to let me off this bus.
Right.
I need a break.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
because every single thing about the music industry in America and England is designed to wring everything you have out of you,
Right.
and then break you.
Yes.
It's not designed to create like Stevie Wonder.
Right.
Where you can keep writing and writing.
Right.
It's designed to
Just burn you out.
they're all takers.
Right. So you are burnt out.
Yeah.
And then do you just tell the label I'm done? Or
I
what
wake
happens?
up from my car crash and this voice says, I know I sound really crazy, but this is I don't know.
Listen, it's
It's a
your
very
truth.
healthy relationship with a being.
Listen, if this being has got you here, mate, it's all good. You know what I mean? Right. So go on. The being.
Says, you need to leave. You need to move.
Right.
And I don't know where, so I move. And I hear that I'm supposed to move to Los Angeles. And then over the years, I learned to be a person. I didn't get to be an adult. I got to be a businessman.
Right.
And I got to be a person.
What kind of businesses are you doing?
Well, I was businessman with Gotta Get Thru This and this first album and second album. That's all business.
Right.
Yeah.
As in you're on point, you know all the paperwork, you know all the royalties, and obviously you are the producer as well and the writer, so that is royalties for life.
If any young kids are watching this, you can do this easily with your life.
Yeah.
Anytime you want. Look at AG,
Yeah.
DJ AG. He just stood in the same place for long enough. You can do it.
No, it's true.
Especially with TikTok, you can blow up overnight. You just have to believe in yourself. I know it sounds ridiculous, all American sounding stuff, but it's really true.
No.
You have to look inside the mirror, look into your heart and your eyes and say, you can do this. And every day you put vision board around the mirror, so you constantly imagine what your life's going to be, and you're absolutely focused. Yeah.
And nothing else matters.
And when I meet young Asian people, that's how they're living right now.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing, mate. I ain't going from here, bro. I've been sitting there and now Daniel Bedingfield there. Holy shit, bro.
That you know.
No, it's true.
You
though.
actually know.
No, it's true. Look at that,
There's
brother.
a one difference between you and everyone else that's not doing it is that you're here.
So fucking true. Because we've sat here and like sometimes I don't even realise, pinch me moments, artists that I grew up listening to are sitting here. And it's a lovely thing. So there's definitely something in that. So you moved to America. Why did you pick America?
They were free.
Meaning?
They were open to be assholes, to feel their feelings, to choose themselves. They were crying. They were laughing. They
Right.
were wearing what they wanted.
You feel a sense of at home.
I wanted to learn how to not give a fuck.
Are you being harassed less out there then?
Zero.
Okay, zero.
That's the main point.
Right.
I could have gone anywhere, but at the time, London, New York, LA, those were the three big cities in
Right.
the Western world.
And that's a place where you can go.
Berlin wasn't even a thing, really.
Right. And you can go, you can be yourself. So
Could have
what?
done Amsterdam, but that wasn't very exciting.
Yeah.
Paris was just becoming quite rough
Yeah.
emotionally. Didn't feel cold. There weren't many options.
And then you just take time out.
Then, I went to Burning Man 15 times.
Where?
Burning Man?
Where's that? What's
It's
that?
a massive festival in the desert.
Right.
80,000 people. We make a city every year.
Right.
And we pack it down.
Right. And are you performing or are you just going as like a... You're just living life.
Yeah.
And you're kind
Learning more languages.
Yeah. So you're literally taking this opportunity to just live your life how you want to. And music's not really at the forefront. And you're happy with that.
Well, I had determined to be happy. To really be happy without having to be successful. And it took me 20 years of focus to figure out how to be really happy without... Because I think I had tied my success to my identity.
Right. And what are the key things you learnt from that?
I learnt boundaries.
Yeah.
They didn't have that in England.
Right.
I learnt self-soothing. I learnt grounding. I know that was in England, but I don't meet anyone who did grounding. I learnt polyamory. Yeah. I learnt how if you were going to love more than one person, how to treat everyone with honesty.
Right. And you just
Fairness.
you don't want to do music. It's not, you don't want to be that guy anymore, that TV.
That guy, that's the thing I didn't want to do.
But you're happy to do music.
But I did it.
Yeah.
I got enough.
Yeah.
I didn't make music as good as Michael Jackson or Sting, and I kind of determined maybe I never will.
Right. And you're at peace with that, right? And
I'm learning to be at peace with that.
right.
I drive my whole life, and then achieved some, and then I was like, I would like to figure out what it's like to live. So I lived in Jamaica, I lived in Israel,
Okay.
I lived in Switzerland, I lived in China, I lived in New Zealand.
And kind of money-wise, are your previous albums
Enough.
kind of funding you and,
Enough,
and your paperwork's correct to the point
enough.
where...
Napster hadn't destroyed anything too badly yet.
Yeah.
I don't love having tons of money.
Yeah? That's fair enough.
Yeah, I did a moment where I went to all the best restaurants, and then food stopped tasting good.
Right.
And
Is it that
I
cake
would
thing
go,
again? Just eat all
yeah,
the
and I
time?
would go buy all the best groceries, and then they started tasting the same.
Mm.
Like when you're at the top of something, that everything is actually more limiting than anything else. And so I had less money, and I started needing to save and needing to hold money back. And then when I would spend it, I got like a big dopamine. I think I'm dopamine seeking behavior explains almost all of my...
Sure. And I think some of the people that I've sat with here, like that have made a substantial, vast amounts of money, they always tell me that the journey was better than...
Oh, the journey is always better.
Do you know what I mean? Because they say when they get there, so actually, well, hold on.
Best part of the journey, mate, right now.
Yeah?
When you might have a bunch of hits.
Right.
And I'm hearing England really resonating, particularly Afro-Caribbean community really, really resonating with the new stuff that I'm putting out.
Yeah.
And just feeling that I'm back, but I might actually be fucking back.
Yeah.
This is the moment I live for.
Okay. I'm going to talk about just a minute. Need to talk about your sister, Natasha Bedingfield.
So that was great too.
Just a massive career, just epic,
killing America,
gargantuan
right
songs, killing America. How was that for you? Because you came out first, you're like a pop star, and then your sister, like, how did that happen? Because it just appeared like she just came in.
Yeah, so it's a 1-2 punch. So she's keeping it hot for me when I'm not.
Yeah, but how did that first happen? Were you aware that she was doing this?
Yeah. Yeah, so we were singing at that night spot together, all three of us.
Right.
So I started at 12 when she was 12, and then Nicola was 12.
Yeah.
And Nicola is a very accomplished composer.
Right.
She's done music for Coke and everything.
Amazing. And then obviously...
So yeah, any success that
her
Natasha
kind of success
is kind of mine, and mine is hers. Like
right. And kind of songs that she's got are just like 3 words or whatever that like unwritten. They're like generational.
Properly.
And it's like, did you ever feel like when she came out, you had to, like, I don't know, compete or get to that level?
No.
Do you know what I mean?
No, like it's us.
Yeah. And the family must be super
That comes
proud.
back to the New Zealand thing again.
Right.
And I'm not into hierarchy.
Yeah.
We're doing well. Our family's doing well.
Yeah. I mean, you got the actual Bedingfield name when you hear
It's
that.
amazing.
She's worked with Lil Wayne and all of these
killer.
people, and people are like, do you feel like she doesn't get her props in the UK as much as she should? Because is she's just over there?
I think she would if she wanted to.
Yeah.
I don't know. She can do anything she wants to. That
Yeah.
one.
Killing it. And then how is it for kind of mum and dad to see like their kids are just absolutely taking over?
They were not shocked.
Really?
No.
Okay.
They really thought we would do this.
Yeah.
So they were not like stage parents were like forcing us to sing.
Right.
We were just constantly singing and so focused on doing this, and they just helped. They supported us.
And
They
then
were very proud, but they were not surprised.
really. And then coming full circle, you did Garage Nation recently at the O2. It's like the first time Garage people had done. How was that for you? Obviously, I see you there. How was that just to see?
It really means Garage is properly forefront again.
Yeah.
Which means I can make albums and albums and albums of Garage and drum and bass now. Now, that's why I'm back.
Right.
Because I can make what I actually care about.
Right. But are you kind of in the mind state to do that now and be that guy again? Do you know what I mean?
Happening. I've got just a track called Get Some that came out with Tice from Noisia, who probably one of my favorite drum and bass acts. That came out 2 weeks ago.
Right.
I've got another one on UKF.
Yeah.
Which is an amazing dance label here.
Yeah.
Maybe the best dance label, I think. That's what I listen to.
Right.
Want to know what the sound of the UK is? I always go on YouTube, UKF.
And are you kind of touring a lot? Because you
Yeah,
seem
I've
to
got
be
20 shows this year.
right. Where are they?
Already
Sorry.
booking up next year.
Where is it?
All
UK?
around the UK. Unfortunately, not one in Scotland. We got a couple in Ireland, Northern Ireland, but we haven't got any in Scotland yet, which I'm actually pissed off about because
Okay.
amazing
Right.
crowds. But yeah, Mighty Hoopla.
Yeah. And are you kind of making music like album? Is the album coming out? What is the plan?
I don't think anyone cares about albums.
It's true. It does seem like a very conveyor belt style of music now. Like it's got
It's just to print on a CD, on a vinyl. That's
Yeah.
the reason. That's
Yeah.
the reason it's that size.
Mm.
The single is the reason that the short play.
Yeah.
What's it called?
CD.
No, we got long play, which is a long one, and
Yeah, short, yeah, small one. Yeah,
whatever. That's the reason those 3.5 minutes.
right.
And this big record is the reason it was an album.
Yeah.
It's arbitrary numbers created by, honestly,
And-
more white men telling us how to do things.
So, so now there's just more music coming out.
Yeah, track by track.
Yeah.
You have to see how it does on TikTok. Honestly, it
Yeah.
has to go viral or you don't have a single.
And how is it seeing this TikTok world and the world unfold in front of your eyes with
Fantastic.
the internet? Do you feel like a lot of people are cutting corners because like you're someone that knows the craft and knows how to make something from scratch, to now people who can auto-tune and kind of almost cut the corners?
No, I would even go so far as to say AI will help a lot.
Do you think AI will take away from...
For many people, it will take away, but for people who use it properly,
Yeah.
it'll be really helpful. For example, you've got one Australian guy, all he does is play mediumly average guitar and fairly decent melodies,
Yeah.
a decent voice.
Yeah.
He can make his voice sound amazing. He can have a whole string quartet instead of paying £30,000 for one day
Yeah.
to book out this thing. The strings are incredibly expensive. He can just put them in, and he can't get a bass player, so he just get a bass player. Like if he got good ears, he can make incredible music. Same spirit, same soul, same quality.
Someone say that that's not real. It's
Who
not the real
cares?
essence. I'm just...
They would say that electronic music's not real. They would say the piano is not real.
Yeah,
They would say
facts.
drums are not real.
True.
As in microphones ruined everything.
Yeah.
No, this is anti. This is very bad spirit to criticize new technology like this. What we should be saying is, well, don't get lost in a sea of mush.
Yeah.
Use it well. Now we have to design AI in a way that benefits us, which is actually what my tech is about. I live in San Francisco. I have a tech company,
Oh, yeah.
and we have a system where, like, how many musicians do you know?
A lot.
How many songs do they have on their unfinished songs on their hard
Oh,
drives?
yeah.
1,000?
Yeah, a lot.
At least?
Yeah.
So-
I've got some there, mate.
Yeah, exactly. So you go in at 3 a.m., you're full of ideas, you put it down, wake up the next day, you're like, whoa, that might be good. And then you try to write the verse, and you just can't do it. And then you keep making more and more, and they just keep piling up. So we've got 25 years of piling up of the best. If we listen to, I know that Kanye's new comments about Jewish people are like disgusting. But if we did go on his hard drive and listen to how many genius songs he's got that he's never released, they're probably better than what he's released. I'm pretty sure of that. And every musician I know has the same problem. They can't tell what's good. So they ask an A&R, or they ask their grandma or a girlfriend.
Yeah.
But they don't know either.
Yeah.
A&Rs don't know anything.
Yeah.
TikTok does know.
Yeah.
So if they gave me 10-second to 40-second clips, just the catchy part, we will rock you. I give it to influencers. Influencer blows it up to like 2 million views or something like that. They would go, a number that we choose. You reach 2 million views and we give you 10% of the artist's song for 5 years.
Right.
And then I go and get from all these Silicon Valley investing guys, 10K loan. I give the artist 5K, give you 5K. You finish the song. When you put it on Spotify, I give you another 5K. And I would take 10%, something like that. So, and then when this loan is paid off by twice or 3 times, the loan is finished. So you're going to eventually get all your music back. No A&R man to tell you what to do.
Right.
Get enough. I think 10K is enough to put out the song, get a photo shoot.
Yeah.
It's enough. Not great.
We can do AI photo shoot now, innit?
Exactly.
You don't even need to be there now.
So
Put me on a mountain. Boom.
TikTok and influencers, that's how you discover if something's good.
Right.
So that's the new record company model, what I'm just describing. So people are investing in me to make this happen.
Yeah. And what is this company called?
Blow Up.
Blow Up. And is it out now?
Actually, I have my first campaign starting next week.
Yeah.
When's this going out?
It'll be out after next week, yeah.
Okay. So I've got a bunch of drag queen, like a kind of drag blow up, glow up competition.
Right.
Where you're singing the song, you say get some, and then you transform.
Okay.
And the person who wins that will be able to perform on Mighty Hoopla on stage with a bunch of other
Oh, really?
drag kings and queens.
That is
So cool.
unbelievable. I'm mindful of time. So speaking of technology, because I know you got to shoot, I asked ChatGPT to ask you some questions.
Great.
So let's see what it comes up with. Okay. If we've covered it, we've covered it.
I want to do this again.
I would love to, mate.
Great.
Obviously, I know you're supremely busy. So once again, thank you
Finally.
so much for
Finally,
coming.
after waiting 20 years, it just...
Listen, you're back and we love that. Why did your career stall after such a meteoric rise? Was it the car crash or something deeper? Would you say it was?
A need to be alive
Yeah.
out of the system.
Do you think, not in a bad way, the car crash helped you make that choice because you had to take time out then?
Brilliant.
In which case you then got to just realign your chakras and say, right, hold on, actually,
Yeah.
do you get what I mean?
Every
Everything
day-
happens for a reason.
Every
kind of thing.
day right now is not given to me. I'm like, whoa, I'm alive today. It's never, that's never faded.
Yeah.
20 years later, it's not faded.
Well, it's a beautiful thing. You've spoken about faith. How do you reconcile religion with fame, ego, and the industry's dark side?
I'm a big friend of my ego. I think it's really helpful to have an idea of who you are.
Right.
It's not me.
Yeah.
It's just a running commentary. It's a story that I'm writing for myself to keep myself in the center of where I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
I think you should feed your ego.
Yeah.
I think you should be more arrogant than people say.
But there's a-
Less humility,
There's a
more
fine line.
self-belief.
Yeah.
And arrogance that's dangerous comes from insecurity. I'm not enough, so I'm going to pretend to be more.
Mm-hmm.
Or it comes from I'm better than you. These types of arrogance are not helpful.
Right.
But a kind of sense of we are entitled to be treated fairly.
Mm-hmm.
We are entitled to be as humans. I'm not against that. It's just when I am entitled and you're not is a problem.
I hear you. You disappeared from the charts. Were you blacklisted or did you sabotage your own career? This is ChatGPT, not me. You can skip them if you want to.
I mean, I certainly sabotaged my own career on purpose, and I'm really glad I did.
Yeah.
I wanted off.
You
It's
wanted
not really sabotage.
yeah.
Saved my life.
You wanted out of the circus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Out
fair
of the
enough.
circus.
Yeah.
And I've really loved it.
Yeah, it makes sense. No, honestly, it makes sense. Was there ever tension or jealousy between you and your sister Natasha's solo success?
The tension that we feel is, do you put the note here or do you put it there?
Right, is that how you are? Like,
Do you mix it like this or mix it like that?
have you guys ever done songs?
Yeah, we did 12 years of singing together.
Right, no, but actual records, like.
No, because of that. Like, I want the note here.
Do you think you should
Yeah.
Do you think that should be done for like legacy purposes?
It's kind of cheap. I might do it.
You
but
think
I'm
it's
not
kinda
doing it
cheap?
for legacy. I
No,
make music for legacy.
but you're both amazing artists. You're both chart topping, so it's geniuses, isn't it? Like, shouldn't you two geniuses put their work together?
Because family is so complicated. I
Right.
watch people who work with their family, and it's just tricky.
Right,
And we have a friendship.
right. You're in a healthy place with them.
We
You
have
don't
a
want to
friendship, and it's like really got to be careful.
rock that
You've
boat.
got to be really careful with family. How many family do you actually have?
Yeah.
Blood family. You know?
No, it's very true.
So it might happen, but it's how do I make music with you, and yet not step on your toes? Because you see it this way, and I see it that we're hearing it different ways.
It's
I don't know.
interesting.
It's a very different style. It's very different, and
I think from like a fan point of view, that would be like lovely to see.
it would. It's just I
'Cause you
don't do
both had-
things from a fan
What
point.
have you had? 20-year careers,
True.
30-year careers.
I
you know what I
have
mean?
written a few songs that she might sing, and she's written a few that I might. We could do it.
Get it
What
done.
we did, if you want to see that, you should watch Ain't Nobody at the Brits when we performed together.
Right,
That was good.
right. Okay.
We worked on that together.
You've been critical of the music industry. Who specifically do you think is killing creativity?
Okay, so, well, Clear Channel bought up every
The
radio
Billboard.
station
Oh, right, yeah, right.
in America and put 50 song rotation.
Yeah,
That killed the music industry.
yeah,
The two Simons creating Pop Idol.
yeah.
They brought a lot of new people forward, but that also prevented a lot of natural people from getting there.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't blame them. I just think there's a natural evolution. I don't know how that's going to come across when they read it, because I like them. I don't want them to. They've
Yeah.
been kind to me. Both of them have been
Yeah.
very kind to me. Just
But there was
looking
a
at the
new formula,
confluence.
wasn't it, of kind of music?
Yeah,
and-
Kim.com and Napster. There's a confluence of things that have done this. There's when you're making money as a record company, you have to spotlight some things and not others.
Mhm.
So radio company establishments. I can't. There's no one person,
Yeah.
but there's a bunch of things that added to it.
Right. Fair enough.
And the fact that there haven't been any massive reforms in the music industry in the last 20 years, and there really need to be.
Yeah.
And we need a new way. And
Do you know what that way is?
yeah, I think the way I just
Right.
described,
That.
blow up,
Yeah.
and anything like that, you can't be predatory.
Yeah. I hear you. Did your near-death experience make you bitter, or did it make you dangerous? I don't know what that means.
Love that. Dangerous.
Dangerous. Out there. I'm
It made me
out there
dangerous.
now. I'm back out.
It made me dangerous.
Yeah?
It made me
Fearless. Did it make you fearless? Like,
I was fearless before the crash. I learned some fear.
right.
What did it do? It makes me desperately taste each moment.
Mm.
And I keep saying it.
And
'cause
cherish it.
Even in saying it to you right now, I'm reminding myself. This is like a little mantra. I felt more vulnerable than I didn't realize how vulnerable life was, but I didn't realize how unkillable we are as well
Right.
at the same time.
I
It's
hear that.
really weird.
No, I hear that. Are you still relevant, or are you clinging to past fame?
It doesn't feel good the second time you eat something.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Well, why do you think the British press stopped talking about you? Did
Thank
you
God.
piss off the wrong people?
Oh God, I'm so glad they stopped talking about me.
Yeah.
They're the meanest people I've ever met.
I mean, there must have been some, like, what was the worst article you ever read about you? That you just thought, what is this?
It's not that microaggression is a really interesting thing. If you look at how many negative statements are made about men in the press, and then you compare them to women,
Yeah.
it's like 80-20. Constantly negative about women. Even the thing like a Karen, even that is still against women.
Yeah.
Even the thing that Diddy's going through is still against black people.
Yeah.
When you're just constantly shitting on
Yeah.
people of colour and women all the time, and thank God people have stopped harassing gay people as much. And I noticed that they're not harassing me for being on the spectrum. What was the question?
Do you think the British press stopped talking about you? Why do you think the British press stopped talking about you?
Because I'm not living here.
Did you piss off the wrong people?
No, I just the press reflecting an ancient English practice of enjoying hung drawn and quartering,
Yeah.
or taking your kids to the village market to see people getting hanged. It's it's an ancient tradition to enjoy the pain of others here.
Yeah.
And the press
That
were
is
giving
true.
us what we wanted, which is we wanted to 1 minute hang David Beckham from our rearview mirror,
Yeah.
and the next minute turn it around and make it a noose because he missed one goal.
Yeah.
That's just a very British thing,
Yeah.
and that's why.
Do you think the British press is one of the worst? Like one of the most cutthroat?
The only.
Oh, really? So
only
other
press
countries are not like that?
Nope, not America.
Okay.
Nothing like this.
Wow.
It's a pastime. It's a joy.
Yeah.
It's a joy to harass celebrities here.
Yeah.
Much less so now.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think everyone
Why is no one harassing me right now?
harassing you, right?
First time in my life, I'm back. I'm like, why aren't people slagging me off?
That's a good thing, right?
I love it.
There you go.
I love it.
Careful what you wish for.
I'm not wishing. It could be
He's
that
back in the country. Let's get him.
perhaps England is losing its taste for hurting people.
Maybe just no one's buying papers anymore, hopefully, because of the internet. I don't know.
It really broke me, man. It really messed
Did
me
it?
up. Yeah.
Psychology.
Badly.
Did you ever try like kind of therapy or
Lots.
anything? Yeah.
I've done probably 100 hours of therapy on it. Never helped.
Never helped.
I can't find out how to heal that.
Really?
No. It's
And
something
you
called
can't-
complex PTSD, where it's microaggressions, like I was saying. It happens so many times. You can't go back to that one moment. It's just constant. And it's kind of like the way I used to enjoy teasing my sisters.
Right.
It's our humour too.
Right.
Until you explode and it's hilarious. It is, but there's got to be a limit.
Yeah.
I don't want to know about Tom Cruise's sexuality. Stop telling me.
Right.
It's not my life.
Yeah. That's true. It's true. Would you admit to using drugs or alcohol at your career peak?
No, none.
Okay.
Not till I was 30.
Okay.
And then I've been involved in ayahuasca ceremonies.
Oh, don't start that, because what ayahuasca is very interesting.
And ketamine with Molly in therapy.
Yeah.
You get the injection.
Yeah.
And you're sitting with a therapist, and they.
Yeah.
It's amazing healing. DMT.
DMT I've heard about.
5-MeO DMT.
So I've been invited to do
You should.
ayahuasca
You
for
should do
free.
it when you feel that you should do it. Don't do it in England.
No, you can't.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I've been
Just
invited to go abroad
yeah,
and do it
go
for free
abroad.
and talk about it, but I'm a bit apprehensive.
I don't do any drugs in England.
Right.
This
So-
is my work. This country is my work.
Yeah. But the ayahuasca, would you say that's one of the top, like
Yeah, or 5-MeO DMT, the toad.
the toad one?
Yeah,
I've
so
heard about the toad
I
one.
can't say these things are good for you recreationally, but when you're in a therapist setting,
Right.
and it's legal in America,
Yeah.
and they're talking you through. Oh my gosh, I had a licensed therapist do the DMT with me.
Right.
5-MeO.
Right.
Transform. I remember all these Illuminati people going around saying it heals you instantly. You don't even need to go to 20 years of therapy. And I was thinking, what are you guys? Are you? What's wrong with you? You shouldn't tell people these lies. What you do? And then I did it. And wake up, different person, healed.
Yeah.
Healed my ancient wounds.
Yeah.
Because you're in there and it just kind of does surgery.
Yeah. But you see that microaggression trauma, you still can't get rid of that from. Do you know what I mean?
I think the way England is treating me right now is actually healing
It's
me.
healing you slowly because you feel like
I'm not being
actually
attacked.
it's not that as bad as perhaps, or it's just a different
I
time.
just don't. I said I loved a man, and I haven't had a single one man. I loved a man once,
Right.
romantically,
Right.
not sexually, but romantically,
Right.
and no one's come for me. And I said I was on the spectrum, and no one's come for me.
Right. Okay.
So maybe if England stops tearing people apart, maybe I can be here more often.
Wow.
Because I'd like to. I really like singing
Yeah.
here a lot. I like making music here. The music here is fire.
Yeah.
Lil Sims is like
Yeah.
the goddess.
There's a lot happening. What's one secret about the pop world you've never told anyone because you were scared to? Don't have to answer that, by the way.
No.
Okay. Do you think the success of Gotta Get Through This was a fluke? Well, no, because you had number ones after that. So just...
No, it's an interesting comment. If
If you wasn't skating on your
music
bower...
if music is luck, then I was lucky.
Right.
If music is a language and it's a code and you can deconstruct all of society and you hear what they want, you can write music in the cracks where you know they're going to like it, then that's a thing people can do.
Right.
That's a real gift.
But then if you
Or
wasn't...
focus, like if you can study that, which I believe you can, then a lot of us could do that. But we're torn between two parallel things. One, you make music for yourself, or you make shitty music for people, pop. But I make music right here. I make music for resonance.
Right.
I want to enjoy you enjoying our music together while we're making it.
Yeah.
And that's not pop, and that's certainly not for myself.
Right.
I love to feel the crowd crying and falling in love and angry and jumping around.
But if you wasn't on your bower inlines going through that thing, would that song have
There
come
were
to
Solomons.
you? Do you think that song would have come to you still?
What you do if you want success in your field is you train like crazy. You get your 10,000 hours in. You cut off everything that doesn't create the possibility of it happening.
Yeah.
And you wait with like a receptive soil with all the work, and you wait for eternity to drop the song, the thing into your, and then you water it. And that is not luck. Luck is a part of it, but the preparation for inspiration is absolutely doable by anyone, especially anyone listening.
Have you ever regretted becoming famous? If so, why haven't you walked away entirely?
I really like having done something that now when I'm raising money for my startup, I've done something for them to take me seriously.
What's your real opinion on pop stars like Ed Sheeran or Sam Smith? Manufactured or authentic?
Neither of those boys are manufactured.
Yeah.
At all.
Oh, why?
Wrong.
Angry with me.
Wrong musicians.
AI, don't start with me.
Wrong musicians.
Do you think your music aged well, or do you cringe at your old work?
I will always cringe at anything cheesy while I'm dancing to it and making love to it.
Yeah.
So like I said, the cringe factor is that the street part of me hates Lionel Richie, Hello.
Right.
And the romantic in me loves it.
Right. I hear you. It's a balance.
But that's what I like about British music. There's a lot of really good cheese that's also really cool.
Cheese is needed sometimes.
Do you really want to hurt me?
Would you ever expose major labels or artists for shady practices if you weren't so scared of the consequences?
There's nothing shady about their practices. It's the system that they're in that is a shady, degrading system. And we are creating it every time we participate. We have to figure out a new way, a new system. You can't blame record companies. They are literally, they've got families, they're good parents, and they're good friends. And I don't think they're responsible for...
I hear you.
We need to build new technology.
New technology?
Yeah, we need a blockchain solution. We need smart contracts. We need microfinance. So I would be getting 30% more every year if someone figured out a way to process microtransactions. So, for example,
XRP.
you want to use my song. You've only got £30.
Right.
The person processing it is not. It's not worth their time. They're making 25.
Yeah.
They're not going to process it. So, all those requests to license my song are turned away.
Right.
But if we had a system like a blockchain system where it was all being, microprocessed.
How many times a day do you get asked to come and sample your music?
I'd love people to sample. I don't think anyone's sampled my music.
Really?
No, I've never been sampled.
Really? I find that really crazy. I'm going to be quick because of time. Have you ever ghostwritten for someone famous and been sworn to secrecy?
No, never been sworn to secrecy. I've not ghostwritten. I wrote something for Pixie Lot.
Wow.
I wrote I Want to Feel. And no one credited me that. Also, Kelly Lee, who is Izzy B,
right.
his ex.
Yeah.
She is on that too.
Right.
We had a #1 together and we didn't know each other was on it.
So you had a #1 and you weren't credited. How'd that make you feel?
I knew that was going to be the case.
Oh, you knew that?
Yeah.
Is that a legal battle then? Or is that
no legal battle. It's Second City. We signed off on that. It's fine.
Oh, you signed off?
But that's the way it works.
Okay.
The guy who played the trumpet solo on Day in a Life or on Strawberry Fields or whatever.
Yeah.
Penny Lane. Yeah. He only got paid £300. The system is fucked.
Yeah, that is fucked.
We have to share. My band is only getting paid every time they play. That's not cool either. I'm going to make money and what's going to happen to them? They're touring around the world, busting their asses to make me famous. And then I'm living in mansions and they got paid whatever they got paid. This has to change.
I hear that.
Predatory system.
But it's nice that you actually acknowledge it.
I'm going to change it if I can.
Really nice. Yes.
There's a lot of people that want to.
What pop star do you think has zero talent but gets all the hype? We don't have to answer that. Okay.
Don't slag off people.
Did fame ever turn you into an arrogant arsehole?
Yes.
And how bad did it get behind closed doors? You don't come across as arrogant at all.
I learned to be an arrogant asshole when someone was coming to take mine. Tell me how to record my music.
Right.
Tell me when I couldn't release it.
Right.
And I would be nice. I'd say it again and again and again. I learned to be an arrogant asshole in this country.
I suppose you have to develop that thick skin, I suppose.
Actually, sometimes unless you were really rude, the person wouldn't back off.
Right. What's the darkest thing you've done that your fans would never imagine? Almost there.
I want to know what this is. Darkest thing that I've ever done.
That your fans would never imagine.
Let me see.
Have you ever been in some crazy rooms, like Illuminati rooms?
No. So either they don't exist that way, or I'm too low level to have ever seen them.
Okay.
I know that there are cults out there in LA that do their crazy stuff, and there's a lot of rich and powerful people that go to, but I'm pretty sure that evil can't organize itself.
That's a lovely saying.
And there are no shadowy strings where there's a few people pulling everything.
Right
now we have the closest to that, which is a bunch of billionaires that are taking the power away from the governments. But I don't think I maybe Illuminati exists, but they must be a bit of a joke.
And kind of the politics side of the world, are you happy to talk about things like that, or do you rather just leave that out?
I see politics as the machinations of individual people with ideologies.
Yep.
I don't really see it as anything else. It's just a bunch of people with ideas that are pushing for their idea to happen.
Yeah.
So I don't really take politics seriously anymore. I'm not even sure capitalism really... I'm not sure that how much democracy really has ever really worked.
I hear you. Have you ever been propositioned for a career boost in exchange for something sexual? Did you take it? Whoa.
I can really understand doing that.
You could understand doing
Actually.
it? As in that it happens?
No. It happens to people. It didn't happen to me.
Right.
but I think it's worth it.
You think it's worth doing?
Yeah.
Okay, elaborate on that. As in, do this sexual favor for me and your career
It
boost.
depends. If you're vulnerable,
Right,
it's going to be bad for you.
right. Are you saying if you can handle it mentally?
Who knows if you could handle it? Maybe it would really mess you up.
Yeah, but then that's the risk though, right?
I don't know. I'm certainly not going to judge someone who would take that opportunity. If your goal is to make music,
Right.
you really want to, and
Right.
you got to suck that dick.
Jesus! Right.
It's usually the problem is it's usually predatory males
Right.
going after younger people.
Right,
That's not going to be good for the people.
right.
But theoretically,
So-
what would you do to get this? How badly do you want the music? I'm not sure. I do think usually it just messes everyone up forever.
So,
And I really do know a lot of people in LA who have gone after
and suck that
my
dick.
friends for them to do that.
Right.
a
So
lot.
just for argument's sake, you're saying if P. Diddy said to you, Daniel Bedingfield, you need this, and you're going to sign to Bad Boy, are you going to take that? Take that.
I'm not, and what I'm thinking is that I do wish very much not to judge anyone who has
Yeah.
done that because
Okay.
they're dedicated.
Hey, do you know what I appreciate? His honesty.
I don't think
if
that's
nothing
selling,
else.
I don't know if that's fully selling your soul.
Okay.
And there's real ways to sell your soul.
Such as?
When I was doing X Factor,
Yes, that's right. You was a.
they got 12%. Those kids got 12%
Oh, of the yeah.
deals, and they had to take the lawyer and the manager.
Right.
And I felt like
You feel like
I
shit
led them into that.
into
They
the
didn't tell me.
into the fire pit.
They didn't tell me.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure.
Mm.
I think that I felt really wrong.
Mm.
I felt really wrong.
Was there ever a moment you seriously considered ending it all, and what stopped you? No.
No, because I'd have to hurt this boy, and I love him.
Come
He's
on.
my son.
We,
You know what I mean?
I hear
This is
that.
my kid.
I hear
I
that.
look after this guy.
Who did you hook up with in the industry that no one knows about? This is spill.
I've never
spill
met
one name.
anyone in the industry that was attractive.
Really? There must be
Cat Dealey was hot.
Cat Dealey. Okay, yeah.
But they don't. The more soul a person has, the more present they are, the
Yeah.
more authentic they are, the more attractive they are to me. And I haven't really been very impressed.
Yeah, fair enough. Would you ever leak old label secrets or blackmail emails if pushed too far?
I haven't been blackmailed.
If you could cancel one artist, dead or alive, who would it be?
You shouldn't talk that way about musicians.
Okay,
Can't.
fair enough. I'm conscious of the time. I feel like I could talk to you for another hour.
Yeah, we'll
but
do that.
Once you see the time, you're going to say, fucking hell, is that the time already? I'm worried
By the
about
way,
that.
ChatGPT asks really good
Trust
questions.
me, that's just the surface. Daniel Bedingfield, sir, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. It's lovely to see your journey. You seem like a very spiritual kind of person, and I love that for you. And I'm very glad that you can come back here and find new solace in the UK. People love you here, man, and I
They
really
treat
hope...
me really nicely.
No, come on, man. We love that. And I, like backstage at Garage Nation, everyone was lovely. Like,
True.
great to see you. Shit, Daniel Bedingfield. Like, there was a lot of love.
They never would even talk to each other back in the
No,
day.
and you yourself was so talkative to everybody. You wasn't an arrogant arsehole.
I got to meet my heroes that day.
Then it was lovely. So thank you so much, sir. Long may that continue. You're on tour. I want to come to a show, by the way. Hook it up. Love and
By
respect.
the way, the tour is incredible.
Well, I wanna see that.
My musicians are crazy
I want
good.
to see that shit. I want to see that.
Crazy. I got Rosetta, bass player from Sampha, and Frank Moody.
Right.
Got David Dyson, his band is called Duke. He's amazing.
Right.
Telmo, that just my sound guy is
Yeah.
amazing. I got my old tour manager.
Come on.
We're playing a lot of old music stuck in with the new stuff. It's all drum, bass, and garage.
Can't wait to see it.
Oh, so happy.
I can't wait to see it. 2 tickets, please. VIP. Mr. Daniel
Yeah.
Bedingfield, love
Give
and
you
respect to you, sir.
5.
Come on,
Bring the
5.
family.
We out. Peace.